Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. A lot of people have been writing us over the past few months asking us to come out with a video on GMOs. In particular, I got a lot of comments and questions from people who saw Unnatural Vegan's video where she came out very very happy GMO person, and they were confused by that, so they wanted us to come out with a response video. Well, to do that properly, it would take several videos. There's so many issues regarding GMOs. Their human safety, the environmental, ethical issues. I just want to cover what I think is actually probably maybe the most important issue about GMOs. Are they good for the planet? And Unnatural Vegan thinks they are.
The potential to create crops that are more environmentally friendly via genetic modification is pretty amazing. A recent meta-analysis of 147 studies on genetically modified soybean, corn, and cotton found that on average, chemical pesticide use decreased by 37%. In addition to that, crop yields increased by 22%.
Yeah, I remember last year too, when that meta-analysis was published, all the pro-GMO lobbyist sites ran with it, claiming how safe their products are. Well, the truth is actually the complete opposite of that. What's really happened is one class of pesticides, the kind that have been sprayed onto crops for decades, have been replaced with a whole new different kind, one that was not measured by these studies. They're called neonicotinoids, and most of us have never even heard of them before, but they're the most widely used class of pesticides out there. Well, let's get you quickly up to speed as to what they are.
Neonicotinoid pesticides are a brand new class of insecticides. They're applied to the seeds of the plant at the time of sowing. And as the plant grows, the pesticide actually gets taken up into the body of the plant, so the whole plant becomes poisonous. So pollinators like bees, like butterflies, like moths, which go around these plants to collect pollen, are getting tiny doses of an extremely toxic neurotoxin, many thousands of times more potent and more deadly than conventional pesticides. And while these doses are tiny, they're cumulative and they're irreversible.
The potential to create crops that are more environmentally friendly via genetic modification is pretty amazing.
Yeah, what's really amazing and good for our planet is that this pesticide has been linked to the decline of both the bee and butterfly population. Our pollinators, we're killing them. Without them, we're totally screwed. And a study released just this year has shown that the seed-treated pesticide is on a third to maybe half of all soy crops and nearly 100% of all corn crops. So instead of pesticide use being decreased, like Unnatural Vegan and the GMO lobbyists are saying, insecticide use in field crops has expanded dramatically with these seed treatments rather than decreasing like the GMO lobbyists would like you to believe. And what about this 22% increase in crops that are raised from GMO seed and methods?
The ISTAD report proved that organic and sustainable agriculture had the same and higher yields than conventional, chemical-intensive, genetically engineered crops.
Well, a new study released just this year compared United States raised corn, GMO corn, with European corn, non-GMO corn, and the yields were pretty much statistically in a dead heat. In fact, the GMO corn had a slightly less yield compared to the European non-GMO corn. What has increased from GMO farming is the use of glyphosate, the main ingredient in Monsanto's Roundup, which the World Health Organization has listed as a probable carcinogen, and California's Environmental Protection Agency has listed as a known carcinogen.
Monsanto scientists found bacteria growing in a chemical waste dump near their factory in the presence of Roundup herbicide. Now, Roundup normally kills bacteria. This bacteria was surviving. They said, great, let's put it in the food supply. So they took the gene from the bacterium that allowed it to survive the Roundup and put it into soybeans. And now those Roundup-ready soybeans can be sprayed with Roundup herbicide and they don't die, just all of the other plant biodiversity in the ground dies.
Yum, food raised in all sorts of pesticides and herbicides and has poison growing throughout it. Well, how does organic farming compare in yield compared to that? Well, let's take the example here of Paul Kaiser, a farmer from Northern California. He's able to raise his crops with absolutely no inputs other than compost. Yes, no pesticides, no insecticides, no GMO products. He uses 1/10 the water of average farms in his area, yet the price he gets per acre is 10 times that. He makes about $100,000 per acre. So the reason why I bring up the seemingly anecdotal story about Paul Kaiser is this. Researchers from nearby University of California, Davis have gone to his farm, took a big steel rod, drove it down into his topsoil to a depth of 4 feet. That's amazing because if you do that same test in a nearby any other farm in California, you're lucky to get down 12 inches. There's very little topsoil. And this is huge. This is one thing that you never hear the pro-GMO lobbyists talking about, and I'm sure Unnatural Vegan is not going to talk about this as well, is that America is losing its topsoil. It's eroding away because of our chemically based farming system. In fact, we have approximately, according to the rates that we're losing our topsoil, about 60 years of topsoil left. And once that is gone, we are completely screwed. So you could just do soil building organic agriculture like Paul does.
For over 100 years, we've been plowing and tilling the land here in the US, and that has degraded the soil. Here at Singing Frogs Farm, by being a no-till farm for vegetable production, never disturbing and breaking up the soil, so we're not releasing greenhouse gases. In fact, we are sequestering greenhouse gases at a really high rate. We've actually increased our soil organic matter dramatically over just a 5 or 6 year period. We are rebuilding those degraded soils.
And that's important because when there's so much good stuff in the soil, the plants can take that up and put that into their fruits, which we then eat. It's more nutritious and it tastes a lot better.
Or you could follow the chemical-based way of growing food that Monsanto does.
The active ingredient in Roundup is called glyphosate. Glyphosate was patented in 1964, not as an herbicide, but as a broad-spectrum chelator. It hugs a lot of different minerals that are needed and does not allow the plants to access them. It also destroys some beneficial microorganisms in the soil, which normally provide nutrients to the plant. It also promotes pathogenic organisms in the soil, which then overrun the plant. And so it creates weaker plants, stronger disease, and the disease does the killing.
Great point. That's why GMO food tastes like crap. That's why you don't find it at finer restaurants, Michelin star restaurants. Gracias Madre in LA, best vegan restaurant, they grow their food on their own organic farm in Northern California. That's what makes food taste well. It absorbs all these nutrients in rich soil. But you don't care about that and you want all our topsoil to go away. We can go for the Monsanto method. Well, I know where Anji and I stand on this issue, and that's why every Sunday you find us at our farmers market, finding the best, freshest, most in-season food grown in the best possible conditions, rather than sprayed with a bunch of crap and grown in crappy, depleted soil with Monsanto methods. That's not going to be the best food to eat. So post your questions and comments down below. Where do you stand on this issue of GMOs being beneficial for the world, making the world a better place? I know Monsanto likes to talk about that, and I promise I will make some more episodes later this month addressing other issues about GMO foods, like are they even vegan? I'll get to that. So I didn't want to make a 25-minute episode like some people do. So again, post your questions and comments down below on your thoughts of GMO foods. Do you eat them or do you avoid them like we do? And if you got some of this video, hit the like button and share it with someone who is pro-GMO, and subscribe to our channel for more content from me here and Anji at Happy Healthy Vegan. So until next time, guys, go eat some fresh organic whole foods and keep it carb, baby. Keep it carb.
Monsanto is the only company I know of that doesn't want you to know you're buying something that has their technology inside it.